Hello everyone, welcome to Vid-Ography, episode 2, Crisis and More. Hello, welcome back, my name is Matt, here for another edition of my now ongoing podcast series, which is looking to review things in the world, talking about positivity, and try to keep things as realistic as possible. Meaning, what do you mean realistic? Well, I have to look at everything as two sides of a story. As in, when people say, like, say for example, if a television show, a game, or whatever you like is terrible without giving a valid reason, I've seen many people online these days say, oh, it's just rubbish, but won't give a valid reason. I won't name names, but that is only the things I have read and seen. Yes, I may be a newbie at doing podcasts on my own. Now, a question that people was going to ask me, well, if you wanted it asked anyway, I'm going to give you the answer. So, why now is the time to do podcasts for me? Basically, I felt it was the right time. My confidence has been knocked back a lot over the years, but being on channels like Dr. Freedom and Matrix or 212 has given me the confidence within myself to finally decide it is time for me to step into my own light. I'll still appear on podcasts if they ask me to, but this is my baby, and this is exactly what I'm going to be doing. I do not have any laptops at the moment or anything, so things like visual recordings are probably going to come a bit down the line as soon as I get my laptop. I mean, things like for the gaming reviews and that. I could definitely do it on my phone, but because I don't have a tripod or any of that, it just wouldn't look as good just to see me sitting on my own talking about it. I mean, I could discuss games and review them, but if you want like the visuals like of an Xbox or me doing an unboxing, I know people do unboxings on YouTube a lot, but there's just something so nice to feel about doing it professionally. So that is why, for the time being, until I'm a bit more down the line, or I can get the lovely Zoom card meetings on my next thing or Skype, then it's going to have to be this for the time being. So let's get down to business. So Crisis is looking spectacular. I mean, the amount of continuity being crossed over from all dimensions here. We've got Kevin Conroy, Michael Keaton has just been thrown into the mix this evening. It's not confirmed he is in it, but a new paper clipping has just appeared about him in Crisis. Like, it's so nice to have an update from what happened to him at the end of the second film, because it's been so long since Tim Burton's second film for Batman. I'm sorry, I know the name of it, but it's at the tip of my tongue. But it was an amazing film with him, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Danny DeVito was the Penguin. Also, Christopher Walken was amazing in it. But it'll come back to me later. But I know how much it means to a lot of people that Crisis is going to be the end of an era, because while we're losing Oliver Queen from the Arrowverse, with Stephen Amell departing, I feel it's not the end for the Arrowverse, because they've got the spin-offs coming. You've got Batwoman, which is going to be leading. I think Batwoman's going to be leading the replacement for it, purely because of the lore, because Batman is so popular and so big that Kate Kane is having to lead it in this universe as Oliver's replacement. I could be wrong, it could be Black Lightning, it could be anyone's game, but the natural successor to me should be his dearest friend, Barry Allen, because in this universe, him and Oliver are so close, they'd almost have this brotherly feel more than a friendship feel. So if there's anyone that's going to be the natural leader, should definitely be Barry. But we'll see after Crisis, because Arrow hasn't even started back up yet, and Legends isn't even starting until straight after their part to play in Crisis. So it just makes you wonder what's going to be next, because Grant Gustin himself feels that the next series, not Series 7, possibly Series 8, might be the final of The Flash. In honesty, I think 8 is a good number to go out on for these shows, because end on a high before it gets so dragged out to me. I feel, where more can we take the stories? I mean, with Batwoman just getting virtually started, Supergirl can go on till Series 8 because it's such a popular show as well. So I get the feeling 8 series and they end it purely because these worlds are established laws, and Black Lightning, I mean, that is just a whole nother level. And being added to the Arrowverse now, when it comes back after its quick break, because a lot of these shows will go on the break on the run up to Christmas, and then after Christmas we're going to be seeing the effects of Crisis. So I wonder what's changing for the characters. Apparently, Grant Gustin's Barry Allen and Melissa Benoist's Supergirl are going to feel it the most, or the upset about it. So it's going to be quite interesting. The dynamic is going to shift, and the tones are going to shift. They've confirmed Crisis will confirm about Felicity, where she is, but they're not saying a word yet. Burt Ward's set picture today looks really nice. He's wearing a colourful jumper that looks a bit Robin-y, and he's got a dog with him. So I wonder, because they're claiming that he is the same version, the same iteration from the 60s, and apparently they're going to honour Adam West's Batman in it by saying, unfortunately, he's moved on to the other side. But it would be quite nice to see if this is true or not. It's just speculation or confirmation. It's like I say with anything, it's like Doctor Who. Until the BBC says it, it's all speculation or confirmation. I mean, as I say, we've got so much great stuff in the meantime. We have lots of Marvel content coming up. I'm so happy that Tom Holland is getting to complete his deal with Marvel and Sony and doing the third movie, which is probably his final one in the MCU. That's just the feeling I'm getting. And then he's going to branch off and become his own independent character. Yes, it is sad, people, but you've got to look at it from the biggest perspective. He's never really relied on Tony or any of these lot. He is an Avenger, but he basically has been his own entity for years, so he can stand on his own ground, and that is what I want to see from Sony when it goes back over to him, because by default, he is now the longest running actor to have played Spider-Man in the movies, more than his predecessors, Garfield, and Maguire. He's done the run longer than them, so which is quite impressive for someone of Tom Holland's age to be leading Spider-Man longer than the other two that were older than him. Which goes to show good acting and good direction can lead into that. Speaking of which, as I've already covered on numerous occasions on 212, lately, to me, it feels like, as we've talked about Doctor Who, nobody has stepped up to the plate of Edward Russell's Shadow. As in, the marketing seems to have gone really down for Doctor Who. I mean, you'll get the occasional tweets, but the toys aren't as consistent as they used to be. There's been no TARDIS set. I mean, I even noticed, I can't remember if Peter Capaldi got a TARDIS set for his Doctor, but I think the toys for Doctor Who have been fading out a bit, apart from the Funko Pops, which still, to me, has halted a bit. After Jodie got her Funko Pop and Hartnell got a Funko Pop, it's really halted the range at the minute. Why are we not getting the other Doctors? Why do we not have a Sir John Hurt one? Why do we not have a John Pertwee one? It's just very confusing. I'd love it if we could get more of these Funkos out here, because it helps with like people that love collecting, and it'd be a shame if the range has stopped. We need more companions. We need more villains. I'd be interested to see a Sontaran as a Funko Pop. It'd be quite funny, I'd think. But no, to me, everything is just becoming like in these fandoms and communities, you've got to be respectful of each other more. And I'm seeing the respect going out the window. I only see a small part of my friends online now that are still being respectful in the Doctor Who community. Some do not like Jodie, but they don't go and attacking the poor woman. Like some of them say, oh, she should be replaced, she should regenerate, it should never have happened. I get that's your opinion, but please do not attack the people that are working on the shows. It's very disheartening. It really is, because as I remind people of the Kelly Marie Tran situation from Star Wars, I mean, I was not a fan of the Rose story, looking back on it, purely because it felt like that kiss was forced onto Finn, John Boyega's character. As in, they just done it for the sake of it. But purely, in my perspective, it's not the actress's fault. It was just down to the direction of writing. If they had saved the kiss to the Rise of Skywalker, I would have been fine with it, because she would have earned it, because she would have been there a bit longer. But I felt because she was the new girl, they pushed her too much in the centre of thing. But I do have much love and admiration for Kelly. When she did Celebration this year, to see so many people warm up to her after the hard time she's been having, because lots of fans had run her off social media. I mean, not proper fans, the upsetting ones, that weren't very nice. To me, it just feels like, please don't attack the actors. Please don't attack the people that create this stuff. If you have an opinion of the film, that is completely your choice. And if you don't like the actor, that is your choice. But please do not tag them on social media. Do anything to upset them, because they're just humans doing a job. And if you do not like the job that they are doing, that is fair enough. But I cannot stand idly by while watching somebody says the most horrible things. I mean, for episode 2 here, the most upsetting things for me still is that this planet still has racial aspects. As in, people had sent the most disgusting and racist things to Kelly Marie Tran on her social media, and it was just heartbreaking to read it. They got what they wanted. They ran an actress off social media, but it's not defeated her. She's back for the end of the run of this saga. She is just comes across amazing and pure. I just do not like how that ended up. To me, folks, if you're going to critique someone, critique the character. If you don't like the character, that is completely fine, but do not critique the actor in such a way that they feel so bad about themselves. Because we're here in the world, you only have one life and one chance to be happy. So please, remember, be happy and be respectful of others. I mean, if you want a respectful thing, and you cannot appreciate things like her, then all I could just say is just don't say a word. Silence is best when you don't have an opinion on negativity or any nasty stuff. It's just sometimes I feel that it just gets to the breaking point where it takes the fun out of things. It really does. If you're going to have a bit of an upset, and you're going to have a really big upset, just review the film. Just don't go after the people that made it. I've seen people tag Rian Johnson a lot, who still, to this day, they can't get over The Last Jedi. And do you know what? He laughs it off now. Probably, you know, he's handled it well, but it must be disheartening for a director to keep getting so much flack over him adding to a fantastic world and a fantastic lore. Well, To me, looking back on The Last Jedi, it was nowhere near as bad as what the internet made it out to be. To not everyone, but to me, it's not a perfect Star Wars movie, but it's still a Star Wars movie that is enjoyable. Because, I mean, it's great to see Mark Hamill back in action. It's always a pleasure seeing Master Skywalker. It's always a pleasure to watch a film that can take you into another world. Same with television, same as games and audios, as long as you're happy. I mean, to me, I've just started because I've been a bit out of it because I've lost a bit of faith in watching the American edition of RuPaul's Drag Race. Because I feel that it hasn't been good the last couple of seasons, but that's just my perspective. Nothing to do with the Queens, it just feels like it's not really as fun as it used to be. I'll give it another chance. I'm not writing off the series, I'm just fell out with it a bit, but then here comes the UK version, and it's been hysterical. I mean, I'm so happy that the right winners are staying and the people that need to go and develop are leaving. No, that's not me bashing the two, because Scaredy Cat I felt was coming into her own this week, but alas, I digress. Gothy Kitty had a lot of no, not Gothy Kitty. So I'm trying to think about the one last week that left. I mean, it's a lot of nerves and a lot of pressure because it's the first UK edition of an amazing American established. It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me of the Queen that left from last week. I think the first name was Gothy and last name was Kendall. I think it was Gothy Kendall. That's the one. And to me, it just feels like that's about being yourselves. And this week's one is with Downton Draggy is so tongue-in-cheek and so clever. That's what I mean. That's what I want from the world, is positivity, being fun, being creative. They feel like sometimes there's so much to lose, and you've got to feel so sorry when you watch the stories of, like, Some Ting Wong saying that has had a partner for 5 years and has kept that away from, like, the family, was just so stunning to hear that people are still closed-minded and you have to keep things separate from your own family with stuff like that. To me, I personally feel that in life you've got to come in and enjoy these. You've got to really be open and honest with yourself. And to me, watching that, it proves that the world still has a long way to go. I mean, we can critique all we want. We all have our views and opinions, but it doesn't mean that they are necessarily true. You can have an opinion on saying that a film is terrible when, in another person's view, it's amazing. It's one of the best films on the planet. What I'm trying to get with these casts is you basically got to find ways of critiquing things the right way. And like I say, Batwoman, it's a pilot. Just let it slide until the series is fully developed, because we've only... Yeah, it felt like we've got everything done in the one episode, but it's still got a way to go because it's brand new, and I think it's going to get much better. The only reason I never judge a pilot is because you never know if the series is going to change in its shift. Like, if they get picked for a second series, it's obvious CW has renewed it for a season 2 before it started. But you've got to have faith in things. If you don't have faith, then that's when it gets a bit more vicious. And I think it's like back to Doctor Who. It's like, I think people have lost faith, like with Star Wars. Just have faith. I mean, with Star Wars right now, we're in the time of our lives. We're having so much content, from the books to the Resistance coming to an end, to Mandalorian starting, to the Return of the Clone Wars that's coming to an end. And we're at the end of the big saga that has started a long time ago in the 70s with just Star Wars before it was rebranded to A New Hope. Just have faith, just hold on, and just enjoy these, because that's exactly what they are. Okay, folks, so I think we're getting the ground established here. So, what I'm going to be doing over these podcasts is I'm going to be doing proper reviews. There will be some episodes where it'll be dedicated to purely a review only. There will be episodes where I will be having my friends on as guests who are part of the podcasting community. If anyone wants me to do any interviews, I can call up a few friends as well, and we can do that. I don't mind. I'm open. I'm an open book. I'm not closed. If you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love someone else? As a famous wise RuPaul has said. I mean, people may think that I am talking so much about being positive on the pod. Well, probably because the world has not been great. I've been backlashed. I've had people hurt me. I've had people get close to me. But that is its own podcast on its own. That could probably last an hour or two. I don't know. But the point is, you have to treat people with kindness. And every time I treat people with kindness, I get told I do this, I do that, I hear things, I know things, and it just is like I'm getting too old for this. Either you say something to my face or don't say it at all. Just gotta be respectful. So yeah, Crisis is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I cannot wait for it. I cannot wait to go and see a few. I'm still trying to see Joker at the minute. I'm trying to switch my body clock back around because unfortunately it keeps snapping at the minute. So when I snap my body clock back, like the Thanos snap, I should hopefully be able to wake up and go to the cinema soon. I'm looking forward to The Addams Family this month, Maleficent 2. There is so much good content coming out at the minute. I mean, I binged Big Mouth the other day, and oh my word, Maury's getting more worse as each season goes on. I mean, you've got to be so kind when you come out into the world. I mean, when I do these casts, I think I might also tell about my adventures abroad, because people always ask me before I close this off, is because I'm associated with actors a lot. They always ask me, do you know this person? Do you know that person? And there are some people I'm really proud of to know as friends, and who I can just say there's nothing more prouder to me than making people happy and being friends with so many wonderful individuals that make my heart happy in the time of sadness. So yeah, I'll see you all again soon, hopefully. This has been Matt, signing off of Vid-Ography episode 2.